Good morning and Merry Christmas. It's the 25th of December 2019. I'm on my way back from parkrun, off to make myself some brekkies and some coffee. I'm in the middle of making a film reflecting on 2019. I did this in 2017, published a video of my goals for 2018. And at the end of 2018, I did actually go out and film my reflections on 2018, but I never published them. So the film you're about to see is from last year, 2018, December. I was in the Czech Republic with my girlfriend spending Christmas. And I went out one day and I filmed my reflection on 2018 and set myself some goals for 2019. So once I've published that, I'll reflect on 2019 and set myself some goals for 2020. Really looking forward to it. Hope you enjoy. So, my first goal was to do 1,000 miles in 2018. Tick, did it, massive improvement on last year's 1,000k, 2,200k, much more than 1,000 miles. It's maybe, it's not quite double, but it's about 50% bigger. So I'm very happy with that. I'll put that down to the slight change in lifestyle. I moved house, moved countries, went out a lot. I maybe had a bit more free time than I would have done had I still been in Leeds. But I made sure that I got up in the mornings and ran. Also being excited about all the new local trails for me, all the new races that I entered. So very happy, very happy. Number 2, avoid injury through stupidity. Tick. I've managed to avoid getting any major injuries. I've had a few niggles here and there. Nearly slipped then. I've had a few injuries, or minor injuries here and there, like just some inflamed Achilles, an inflamed IT band at one point, but otherwise they were dealt with properly with sort of a bit of rest and then rehab. And I've been doing plenty of, once the problem had started, I always looked into how to fix it. Always looked into exercises to try and alleviate it, ice, rest, rehab, all that stuff. So generally quite happy with that. I feel like I know my body a lot more than I did this time last year, and I hope to sort of improve my knowledge on that every year. So another big tick for number 2, avoid injury through stupidity. Number 3, run at least one ultra and be able to run the following week. Tick. I ran 3, in fact. Started with UTS race, Ultra Trail Snowdonia in May, followed by Urcha Ultramarathon in July, and finally Wien Randomadom in November. Yeah, I mean, after UTS, I was racing the following week. Kilnwick Gala Fell race, that was it. 6k. It was ugly, which is what happens when you run an ultra. Obviously, you need to rehab after ultra marathons, and they do. It's taken me sort of a few weeks to recover from each one. I would say Randomadum, the one in November, it was the furthest and also the flattest and the fastest, and involved a lot of concrete. And that was the one I struggled with the most, really, in terms of recovery. I think all the pounding on the concrete didn't do me any good. But fine, I would say I'm finally over it. I've had a few problems with the ball of my foot, my left foot, and a bit of a shin splint on the right foot, and some on the left foot as well. But lots of exercise and rehab has sorted that out, and I'm on my way to engage with cross-country season back in England in January, so I'm looking forward to that a lot. So that's another big tick for my list of 2018. So really happy. Right, come on, let's crack on. I've just wandered into this field because it was beautiful. Number 4, I don't know, am I shouting? I don't know. Number 4 was improve my fell running. Although I've not been in the UK for most of 2018, I still managed 9 fell races when I was back. Those were the 3 Peaks, Kilwick Gala, Skiddaw, Kentmere, Round Hill, Burnsall, Langdale, the British Fell Relays in Ambleside, and the Bronte Way. Have I improved? Big tick. Really, really happy with some of these results. 3 Peaks, 45-minute PB. Kentmere, 23-minute PB, despite the weather, which was atrocious. Burnsall, 5 minutes, and that's quite a big difference because that race usually takes between 20 and 30 minutes to complete. And the Bronte Way, 14 minutes, which is crazy. Really happy with that one. I got a couple of Calder Valley lads to thank for that because I pretty much sharked them the whole way. Number 5, get a PB in any distance. The reason why I put that on the list was because I had not got a PB for 2 years, which was May 2016, so over 2 years. I think because I've been concentrating quite a lot on trail running and ultra running, my speed work's kind of taken the back foot. So this was a way to make sure that I concentrated, focused on a bit of speed work here and there. And I'm pleased to say that I managed to get 2 PBs this year. The first PB I got was in February, half marathon PB, in the first 2 weeks of February, with a 131 and a half or so, down from 135. So that's a 4-minute PB, really happy with that. The following 2 weeks later, I beat it again by about 40 seconds. So bang, really happy with that, big tick. I kind of wanted to get more than one. Obviously, you sort of push your goals once you've reached them, and February's a really early time in the year to get a PB. So I really tried with my 5k in the summer, and it wasn't until early October where I came within 1 second of my 5k PB. So that stands at 1942. I managed 1943 back in October. So come December time, there was a couple of 10k races on in Vienna in the same location as the half marathon, and I managed to get that elusive 10k PB. That stood at 42.40 since 2011. So pretty happy that I managed to get my 10k PB in 2018. That's what, 7 years. So I managed 42 dead on. So a nice round number, as always. Really happy with that. There's a deer. There's a deer. Can you see it? Deer. Why am I trying to chase deer? I've got no chance in hell. Okay, number 6, cross training. Not too good. There's loads of deer. Just seeing about 4 deer running across the field, but they're too fast for me. Whoa. Right. Big fat no. I'm not accepting of the cross training that I did do in 2018. I did do some, which is a lot more than last year, but still I've got a kind of lazy tendency to take it easy, not do enough reps, not do enough strength stuff. I've only just really started in the last couple of months really concentrating on upper body strength and lower body strength really. I know I'm saying exactly the same thing as I did last year, but I've got to get my head around this because it's so important, and I'll see improvements in my running, which is what I want speed wise and endurance as well. So, you know, as long as I really get into that cross training, next year, my results will continue to improve. I know this, but you know, sometimes it's just hard to get your head around it. So I'm gonna promise this one, like, cross training is gonna be mega important for me next year. You know, it's a no-brainer. So big fat 0, big fat cross for that. big fat X. Anyway, gonna chase some more deer now. Come on. These next few ones are more about the channel, more about my skills as a graphic designer and a filmmaker, really. Number 7 was to learn motion graphics. Before that, I'd used iMovie, and I made the transaction in 2018 to Premiere Pro. It was a slow process. It was really frustrating. I watched a million YouTube tutorials. Yeah, so I mean, I made the transition from Premiere Pro to Premiere Pro. There's so much more to do on these programs. I shouldn't really bore you too much with the details, but I'm happy with how far I've got so far. Must have spent more than 50 or 60 hours playing around. These videos do take a long time to make, but with the iMovie, like, I was getting quicker and quicker and quicker. So hopefully with the Premiere Pro, it should be quicker, and I'll be able to do fun transitions. We've got to be very quiet because the ants are sleeping. The ants are sleeping. Number 8, make a mini doc or a non-first person video. Did that in September with the Leeds Countryway documentary. That was a fun day. I spent all day running around chasing the lead pack in a big relay that circumnavigates Leeds, which is about 101 kilometers. Real good fun. I'd love to have a chance to do it again, maybe with like a full team of people, so we can like capture more footage of the mid pack, the back, the lead women, things like that. Generally sort of follow a bit more footage on that. That was good fun to make. Really want to do some more things like that in the future. Number 9 was to expand the channel. This time last year, the channel was called Nodwell Runs, sort of following me in my adventures, which can be a bit boring for most people, I guess. Probably still is. Anyway, I went put a bit more effort into it, rebranded as Great Owl Running to incorporate the races that I do into it as well. I guess that's a tick. I just want to keep expanding more and more, really, with what I do here. Now I've got to find a path. There's the path. Ah, there's something here. Oh god, that was inconspicuous. Wow. And finally, number 10 was to put on a race. Tick. I already had put on races. I think I was just a bit worried that because I'd moved to Vienna that I couldn't do it, and that just gave me the confidence to, you know, to like sort of dig my heels in and actually get things moving and get these races on. So we had our 3rd successful Holly Hustle this year, the 2nd successful Bramley Fall tag team race, and going into 2019 there's another race to look out for, which is the Kirkstall Carverley Cutter. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be in January in Leeds. I encourage you to sign up. Look at this path. I love this path. I'm following deer tracks. Very exciting. So now on to 2019. Oh, the deer just ran right past us. If I had that camera the other way around, not pointing towards this narcissistic face of mine, we would have seen 3 deer trot right in front of me, maybe about 40 meters or so in front of me. No chance, got no chance of catching them on camera today. Far too quick. Amazing things. So on to 2019. I was thinking that a single list for the entire year is something that I did this year. Really happy that I did it, but I'm going to move on to something else, and that's going to be I'm going to try and start a monthly journal. I am going to start a monthly journal with a camera, sort of documenting what goes on in the month. In regards to races, things coming up I'm doing next year, there's a few things that are in the that are definitely happening, and a lot of the other things I'm not so sure on, because there's just so much cool stuff to do. So number 1 thing I've got on my list next year is Mozart 100, which is in Austria, in Salzburg. It was on my list this year but unfortunately the Achilles injury took me out of it, and I lost my money, I lost my holiday, ended up just staying home and resting really. Here we are, out of the trees. Another thing I'm doing is the Seville Marathon. I mentioned earlier with my PBs, marathon was not on that list. I didn't even attempt a marathon this year with all the ultras I was doing. So plan is to get that marathon PB in the bag. It stands at 4:05, so I'm pretty confident I could do that. I didn't do that was 2011 again, so 7 years. This trail running gets in the way, but obviously, yeah, trying to encourage all the speed work and strength work, because fitness is key with running. I don't want to be I don't want to be a Sunday runner. You know, I get out at least 3 times a week and really train, really concentrate on my elevation and my distance, but not so much my speed. So here we go. Give it a chance next year. I'm walking in circles now. I'm lost, so I'm going to turn this camera off, find out where I'm going, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. The next film will be my thoughts on 2019 and me setting myself some goals for 2020. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. Hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you like and subscribe this video, and consider joining me on Patreon. Lots of exciting things going on in 2020 for Great Owl Running. Really excited for it, really pumped. So we'll see you soon. It's makeup. I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at something else. There we go. I need to look at the camera, not the screen. If I look at the screen, I'm looking past you like that, aren't I? I'm looking past you. Whereas if I look at the camera, I'm looking at you, aren't I? Yes, I'm looking at the camera. Look at the camera. Not here, I'm looking past you like I'm looking into your ear, and it's weird. So I need to not do that.